It's over, it's done, it's dead. I'm talking about the MCU, aka the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvels film is the final exclamation point on the absolute trash fire that this has become. It's garbage from head to toe, from everything in it to everybody involved. And unless Disney clean house with Feige and everyone down below, there is no saving this anymore. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. In the last 24 hours, I've watched episode 7 of Robin in the Hood. I've watched the season finale of Loki. There won't be another season, believe me. And I've also watched The Marvels. My brain is goo, my soul is destroyed, but I couldn't be happier because the MCU is dead and Marvel are the people who killed it. First things first, I just tweeted this out. The preview day yesterday in the United States brought in 6.6 million, an absolute trivial amount. Bearing in mind, this film has a budget of $300 to $320 million, very similar to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which did 7.2 million on preview day. So it's tracking under that, and Dial of Destiny did a worldwide of $381.5 million. This film is set to be a colossal, and I mean colossal, flop, having to make somewhere in the region of 750 to 800 million just to break even. And the problem for Marvel is, having seen the film, it's not going to do it any favors whatsoever. It's a mitigated trash. And before any of the mainstream media try to gaslight you about toxic males and it's toxic week, there's a movie that came out this year that was specifically targeted towards women. It was called Barbie, and it's the biggest grossing movie of the year, doing a colossal $1.5 billion. So when this movie fails spectacularly, it's not going to be because of men, it's because men and women aren't going to be bothered to watch this. You see, women watch Barbie because Barbie is a beloved character with them, with decades upon decades of history. Nobody's going to watch Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers, is a failed comic which keeps getting cancelled and rebooted because Marvel are desperate to make her something and nobody gives a shit about her at all. So it's a false economy that's been built around this character with no foundation, whereas Barbie has plenty of that. But rest assured, we all know that's not going to stop the mainstream media from screaming misogyny, misogyny. No one gives a fuck. All your publications are shutting down. You're all being fired and systematically removed from the mainstream because the people aren't coming to you. They're coming to people who they can trust, who will actually give them an honest answer about a film. Hi, how you doing? Whoa. Wrong review. Sorry, my bad. My bad. So let's talk about the film, shall we? And there will be spoilers, and no, nobody cares because you're not going to go watch it. But I want to say something about Nia DaCosta first, the director of the film. Was she the right choice? Did she bring the expertise, the know-how, the dynamicism of a director, a fresh face in the industry? No, she had no body of experience, clearly didn't have a clue about superhero films, wasn't able to deal with a movie of an insane budget of 300 million plus, and the film was as flat and bland as a pancake. It looked like a Saturday morning kids TV show. It looked cheap, nasty, and tacky from the sets to the costumes. But we all know the reason why she was hired. It was for inclusion and diversity purposes, because that is what is killing the industry right now. They would rather have superficial representation instead of people that know what they're doing. And if this movie cost $300 to $320 million to make, if I was Kevin Feige, I'd be demanding an audit right now. Now, I know this film was destroyed in editing to get as little out as possible because of how bad it was, but what's left still doesn't make a lick of sense anyway. One of the major elements of the film is that because they all use their powers at the same time touching wibbly wobbly stuff, they now interchange between each other when they use their powers. Except they don't, because they use their powers constantly and don't swap places with another Marvel. They only swap places when the plot wants them to swap places. It's rank amateur. The performances across the board are pretty much abysmal. Brie Larson is as wooden as they come. She couldn't sell an emotion if her life depended on it. She spends most of the film being boring, bland, disinterested, and so was I. Teyonah Parris's direction seemed to be act constantly confused about everything, which admittedly was pretty much everyone in the fucking theater. She had nothing to work with here because the script was beyond trash. I thought Iman Vellani would put in the best performance of the bunch, and she did. However, most of the time, she actually started to push into exceptionally annoying. But once again, not really her fault. It's the script that she was given. She's a 16-year-old girl acting like a 5-year-old. But there were two standout performances. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get your hopes up. I mean in a really, really bad way. First of all, Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know which character he was meant to be playing, but it sure as hell wasn't Nick Fury. He didn't sound anything like Nick Fury. He didn't act anything like Nick Fury. In fact, he acted and sounded like, oh, I don't know, a woman in her mid-30s maybe, that lives or spends a lot of time in Southern California. I think back to Nick Fury in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and I look at this, and it actually does make me fucking mad at what they've done to this whole universe and characters and reduced wonderful characterization to fucking pathetic yucks. But the three female writers on this movie have absolutely no body of work to speak upon whatsoever, because they were hired based off intersectionality and diversity and inclusion and not talent, and it shows because this is pathetic. But the winner of the absolute unmitigated piece of dog shit garbage performance in this film goes to Zawe Ashton. And I hate to go here, folks, but I'm gonna have to. And I asked myself, was she only hired because she's Tom Hiddleston's missus? Because if her talent is anything to speak upon, I don't know how on earth she got cast, because her acting was diabolical, her delivery was pathetic, she looked like a deer caught in the headlights half the time, exhibited no emotion, and was about as intimidating as the thing in my fucking handkerchief after I've blown my nostrils. Admittedly, it didn't help that they rammed a bunch of scaffolding in her mouth so you could barely understand a word she was saying. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for her watching it on the screen, and I was embarrassed for myself being in public watching this shite. Her character, Derp Ben, which of course is a gender change from the comics, can't really say race change because she's a Kree, so whatever, is trying to reignite her home world, which after Captain Marvel destroyed Facebook in the previous movie, has lost its oceans, lost its atmosphere, and lost its sun. So she's going around different planets stealing the atmosphere, the oceans, and the sun. And as they said in Film Threat the other day, that's the bloody plot of Spaceballs.
Commence Operation Vacuum Suck.
$300 million. To help her do this, she possesses one of the Nega bands. Of course, Ms. Marvel has the other, but now they're not called Nega bands. They're called quantum bracelets. She even goes to a Skrull refugee world to tell them she's going to steal their atmosphere, so they better get out of there. And they don't seem to be bothered in the slightest, because a few scenes later, they're just walking around happy as Larry. I know it was destroyed in editing, but what on earth is going on here? It makes no sense whatsoever. It's an incoherent mess. So after she's sucked off the planet, yeah, I said what I said, she moves to her next target, which is an ocean world. Now, this ocean world is where they speak only in song, and it's cringe and embarrassing, and just please stop this stupidity and actually put something worth caring about in your film, because you are making it a joke, and people are treating it like the joke that it is. And then she sucks all the water from their oceans and just dumps it onto the Kree world, where it would cause tidal waves and flood all the cities and kill everybody. But don't worry about that, derp, because the writers sure as hell didn't give a shit. Then she moves to Earth, where she wants to steal the sun and is easily defeated. That's the film. Done. As I previously reported, 88 minutes of actual film, in, out, put the kettle on, the only saving grace that the film has. The script was diabolical, the acting was pathetic, the editing was all over the place because it's been chopped to buggery, and the direction was flat and bland and just god-awful. If you told me that this film was targeted towards people with learning difficulties, I would genuinely believe you. I give this film a go fuck yourself, Kevin Feige, out of 10. We're done here. It's over. Nobody cares. You killed it. You killed it because you wanted to do all new, all Marvel, the thing which failed miserably in the comics, and it's failed miserably on the small and big screen. You get what you fucking deserve. Until next time, you take care. Bye for now.